Oh, there you are again, friend and family. I see you got by. My guard titties again. Bribing with treats. But hey, I'm glad to see you. Even though we're not cooking anything up right at the moment. No. But we are going to talk about something. And what we used that we cooked up in the previous episode. If you haven't checked it out, you might want to now. So you'll know what I'm talking about. So hey, throw your jackets off, slip off your shoes. Hey, there's cold drinks in the fridge. Drag up a chair, and let's talk about something that you need to know, just in case a crisis happens in your life. And what you'll see before you is 5 cans of canned goods. Well, now they're empty. We had just previously used them in our last cooking episode. Yeah, canned goods, not fresh. Now, we did use some fresh things, you know. But yeah, I believe in keeping canned goods on hand for those emergencies and those life's challenges, whether it be job loss, a natural disaster, an accident that takes you out of work and you can't work for a while, financial crisis, yeah, end of the world, meteor strikes, earthquake, blood, you know, all those things. Because see, if you have food on hand, at least you got one of the most important things, other than water and air, taken care of. Fourth being shelter. So yeah, I keep well-stocked pantries, and I always have. I learned the lesson the hard way a long, long time ago. And I might say my children have also learned the lesson as well, because they didn't believe in staying prepared. They just sort of winged it from day to day, maybe week to week, until they too had a crisis in their lives. Now, general consensus now with certain groups is canned goods bad. Well, I will say this, and as many of you know have been with the channel for some time know, I'm a process engineer. And I spent a few years, many, in commercial processed foods. Yeah. Canning them, jarring them, mixing them, all that. And I know what they go through, what it takes, all the steps, and the testing involved. Now I'll tell you a little story right now. Yeah, I used to be in charge of what they called the filling lines. Yep, that was my thing. And we would have to clean, sanitize, both with steam and other things, every last piece of equipment that the food came in contact with. Not only what the food came in contact with, but the machines, the floors, everything. In between batches we would run. Let's say we were changing over the line from tomato sauce to Alfredo sauce. Yeah. Boy, we hated that. Because that meant everything had to be broke down. Everything had to be washed. Everything had to be sanitized. Everything had to be put back together. Yeah. Plus, we were all sanitized in the course. And then once we all got it together, the white coats, as we'd call them, these were the lab technicians, would descend from above. Because the compounding area, where all the raw ingredients and all the food came together, both dry and wet ingredients, fresh and otherwise, was mixed, stirred, cooked, and all that, which also was tested, cleaned, and everything in the same manner. They'd descend down in their little white lab coats, had their hair nets on, their masks on, their gloves on, and they'd have little carts with their test tubes all in racks, all lined up, and their swabs. And then they would swab every last piece of equipment. And then they'd ascend back up to the heavens above, the lab. And we still couldn't drop product. And we called it product, but it was actually what you're seeing in these cans. Yeah, similar. Until we got the okay from the lab that they didn't find no germs, no bacteria, no viruses, no nothing. Once we got the go-ahead, then we could. Then compounding would release the food product to the line. Every batch is numbered and controlled throughout the entire process. Now granted, at times, for whatever reason, whether it's just complacency or people deliberately not doing their jobs, there are issues in commercial canned products. So many just say, I don't trust them. I do it all at home. Yeah, my family has over 4 generations canned at home. And we never got anybody sick, and nobody ever died. Thank God. But I will tell you this. I don't know of anybody in America, and probably not in the world, that tests their jars, their lids, their pots, and goes through the stringent requirements and testing that the commercial canneries do. And I'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to premise this video. I put a lot of faith in it because I know it, and I know what it takes. But something else I do is I often make a video on just how long do canned goods last, because this is good information. Knowledge you need to know, especially in these particular times with rising food costs. Not to mention, you may have one of those crises in your life where you go to the cupboard and things may be a little bit past their best by date. And that's the focus of this episode. So we're going to start off with the Giorgio right here. We're going to start off with the Giorgio, America's favorite. Mushrooms, pieces and stems. Hey, they're low fat and gluten free, just in case you didn't know. Let's see, were they brand new? Did they have a little age on them? You know, like fine wine. Let's take a look at the bottom and check it out. Well, as you can see, best if used by March the 21st, 2021. Yep. If I'd have waited another month, this being February, yeah, they'd have been 2 years past their best buy date. I couldn't tell a thing wrong with them. But we're going to say something here. You know, you want to make sure whenever you're looking at any cans, regardless of what's in them, that they're not bulging. No. They're not leaking. Yeah, when you open it, nothing should spew out. Not at all. When you look in it, there should be no foam. You use your eyes. You shouldn't see any discoloration. You got to be familiar with your canned goods. Yeah. So pay some attention when you open up new ones. Get that in your mind. You want to look and dump them out if you're unsure. I'm pretty sure of all these. That's why I didn't. And drop them in a separate bowl. You know, a small one. And look for signs of rust or deterioration on the inside of the can. And you'll notice this can doesn't have a BPA liner. Just saying. So that fear's been taken out. And that was actually started being taken out several years back. So yeah, there was nothing absolutely wrong with these. No smell, no visible defect out of the normal, no poofiness. The can looked pristine. Oh, and by the way, you know, I'm saving my cans and recycling. I should hope you'll do the same. Because we're short on steel and short on aluminum. Even shorter. But let's take a look at the chicken. Let's go ahead and start with the Swanson Chicken a la King. Made with white chicken meat. You can get them also with white and dark chicken meat. Let's see. You know, what was its best buy date? October the 9th, 2021. So on October the 9th, 2022, it was 1 year past. That ain't bad. And then, I made it February 2023. So basically, what was it? It was actually 1 year and 4 months past its best buy date. Here again, no bends, damage to the can. When I opened it, no pressure release. There was nothing foaming up inside. Looks separated. And here again, you gotta know what it looks like to make for sure. And then you put that nose down in it and sniff. And if your nose ain't working good because you got a cold or the flu, find somebody who is. But I'm gonna tell you what, if your canned goods went south, your nose better be stopped up real good because you'll know it. So yeah, that was only about 1 and 4 months. We got another can of the Chicken a la King right here. We'll move those back out of the way. They ain't wanting to cooperate and stay in place. And it's also Chicken a la King, but it's made with white and dark chicken meat. This is my preferred kind, when you can find it. Must be everybody's, because it's hard to find anymore. And it had all the same criteria. Everything looked fine, smelled fine, looked fine. The can was fine. Let's see what its best buy date was. April the 30th, 2023. Wow. We ain't even got there yet. Yeah, I would have had to went till April. 2 months away to get past this. So that one was a no-brainer, right? But our third can here, same criteria. Wasn't damaged in any way. Now I have yet to rinse these out. So we're not looking inside. But I looked at them. There was no rust inside any of them. And no liners, by the way. But this can here had a little age on it too. June the 21st, 2021. So yeah, it was a little bit older. June the 21st, 2022, it had a year on it. So it was about 1 year and 8 months by the time I used it in February. Yep, still tasty. All 3 cans. Still tasty. Made a fine dish, which I'm still eating leftovers from. So were the mushrooms. But let's take a look at the Hormel brand. New and improved, by the way. 97% fat free. Now this ain't regular chicken. This is premium chicken breast in water with rib meat. I hate it when they do that, because where does the breast come from? Off the rib cage. You get it? Isn't marketing amazing? So yeah, and this is one of my favorite canned chicken meats. And it's flavorful. And the kitty crew, they'll vouch for it too. Gracie just starts shaking and vibrating all over. As soon as she sees the can, she knows. It's Hormel. That's the good stuff. And on occasion, as one of their treats, they get some Hormel between the bunch of them. It doesn't take much. A couple of nuggets of chicken breast and a savory broth, and they in kitty heaven. But how old is this 12.5 ounce can of chicken breast goodness? Let's take a look. Now, this one may be hard to read. So, hopefully you can, but if you can't, you just have to trust me. But it says Best Buy, May the 13th. Are you waiting for it? 2014. Oh, yeah. See if we can get that up there where you can see it. So that's got some age to it. Woo! And I'm thinking, after I also tasted some of this straight out of the can, which I will tell you I enjoy as well, this is tasty stuff. Here again, there was no problems with it. Nope. And let me show you another thing. Hold on. We've opened up the can. And I want you to notice. This can was in 2014. There is no BPA liner in this can. You see, there never was a BPA liner in all cans. Just some cans by some manufacturers. That's fact. But now, because of what we know about BPA, even though the testing force-fed BPA to the little mice, the guinea pigs, the bunnies, and the sheep. And even some of the testing labs put it in them intravenously. Yeah, wasn't like they were eating food out of a can. And that's fact. I read the studies. And you can find them too. And I don't mean from talking heads and foodie sites and people organics, whatever. All that's good stuff. But like I tell you, be careful of agendas. Be careful of the motives. Do your own research. Find the actual studies, and they're going to be lengthy. It's going to take a while to read them. Nobody does, except somebody like me, and I have. Yeah, no BPA liner. Back in 2014, imagine that. And this was 8 years old. Was perfectly fine, perfectly tasty. No problems at all. And here's the thing. Because I used to show, if I used some out-of-date canned goods, at the end of one of my cooking videos, as soon as I'd upload that video, people would often send me a comment, "Mr. Tom, you okay?" Yeah, they were. Because they're not familiar with this. And I'm not telling you to do it. You know, you make your own decisions. Do your own research. You be you and I'll be me. If that SHTF situation comes along, or the apocalypse, CME, meteor strike, nuclear war, you know, all those things, well, a knowledgeable person will always be the one that survives the longest. It don't matter how much you got. Everything gets past its best buy date sooner or later. Trust me, it does. And you can say, well, I'll garden, I can myself. Well, there's no power, no water, no gas. Oh, well, no matter how much you stock up of all that, it all comes to an end sometime. Surely it does. So, I just wanted to cover this again. And I'll cover it from time to time when I see something notable or a different product that you might be interested in and just how long it lasts. So there you go. Nobody had any discomfort, me or the kitties. And apparently I didn't die. And I must admit, if you haven't watched my chicken a la king video where I jazzed it up and made it all the more better, maybe you should. Well, you know what I'll do. I'll link it below the description of the video, just in case you missed it or don't know what it is. So friends and family, there you have it. The state of canned goods. And just how long do they last? So hey, until I see you on that next video, y'all take care. Stay safe. May God bless you as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now. Ooh, talking about food made me hungry. I think I got some leftover. Chicken a la king. Got one biscuit left. I think I can make more. What do you think, Gracie? Oh, y'all still here? I've got to rustle up some grub. Y'all let me know if you want some too. That way I know how much to prepare. Later on. Gracie. Gracie, you're making a mess. Why do y'all do that? You throw your food everywhere. You gotta kill it before you eat it. Yeah. You're still a feral kitty. Know how matter much Papa tries to make you tame. Oh, but I love you.